look at a couple ways to select objects. The first is with the Quick Select tool, which might be behind the magic wand. First thing you want to do is adjust the radius. Make sure the radius is smaller than the object you're trying to select. And then you can go ahead and click on the items you want to select and just click and drag, or click inside of a region and then hold down Shift key and keep clicking until you've selected everything that you want. If you go outside the region you want to select and you want to deselect, hold down the Option key and you'll see the plus change to a minus. That means instead of adding to the selection, you want to take away from the selection. You can continue clicking and dragging with the Option key held down to refine the edge of your selection. Once you have your selection, you can further refine the edge by clicking on the Refine Edge button near the top. This opens up this menu where you have some different tools that you can use to change the look of the edge. So you can smooth out the edge of the selection, which gets rid of the jagged little bumps. You can feather the edge, which softens it. You can add contrast, or you can even shift the edge from outside or inside of your selection. When you're happy with it, press OK. The next thing I aim to do here is to put this flame inside of a circle template. I'm just using a multicolored pie chart. I'm going to use the Magic Wand tool and click on one of the red regions. And then under the Edit menu, I'm going to go to Paste Special and Paste Into. This is going to create a mask for the region that I selected. And now I'm just going to use the Move tool to move this flame around and rearrange it in the place where I want it. By using Paste Into, it's going to confine my selection inside of that shape that it's actually in. Once I get it looking the way I want to apply the layer mask to this image. To do that, you click on the black mask that's in that layer, you right click on it, and you choose Apply Layer Mask. Once I've done that, I'm going to duplicate this layer, right click on the layer, choose Duplicate Layer, and then I'm going to transform it by grabbing the middle handle on the left and pulling it all the way over to the right. It's going to create a mirror image of that flame. When I'm happy with how it looks, I'm going to merge those two layers down by Shift and clicking on the two layers and doing Command E to merge them. And then I'm going to duplicate that layer and pull it down so that I've got 4 versions of the flame. So I've just duplicated this layer a couple of times and I've adjusted the opacity, and now you can see I've got this really interesting sort of snowflake flame looking background. This is going to be the background for my mandala. The tool I'm going to take a look at is the magnetic lasso. In this case, I'm going to use the magnetic lasso to try to capture the lion's head. The magnetic lasso is behind the lasso tool, and what it does is it actually is like a regular lasso tool that you draw around an object, but instead what it does is it actually looks for an edge and it snaps the line down next to the nearest edge that it can find. So with the regular lasso you have to be pretty precise and it basically just stays where you draw. In this case it snaps down to the edge that I'm closest to. So you can see it's doing a pretty good job outlining the lion. In a couple places I got closer to the outside edge, but not to worry, we're going to clean that up a little bit later. And I just go all the way around the lion and then double click inside to select it all. I also have the ability to choose Refine Edge from here to see what my selection looks like. An interesting thing that you can do is you can try to use Smart Radius, which will actually try to clean it up itself. Or you can use the brush tool as I'm doing, which will just go over the edge, and what it will do is it will take a closer look at that edge and try to clean it up to your selection only. Now, similar to before, I'm going to, once I have my selection, I'm going to copy it out. I'm going to use the magic wand tool to select into my template. Remember, I'm just using the circular template because I like to have radial symmetry here for the thing that I'm making. I'm going to use the magic wand tool to select a piece and do edit, paste special, paste into to get my line into that part. Once I do that, I'm going to transform that line to get it looking the way I want to. And then I'm going to go through the series of duplicating or applying the layer mask and duplicating the layers just as I did before. And now once I have the line looking the way that I want, I'm just going to see what it looks like on top of the flames. And then I'm going to get the whole thing looking the way that I want. And now just in a few short steps, I've taken something that had been hand-drawn and turned it into a really interesting kind of background shape, combining two of the elements. Check out this Adobe tutorial to learn more about using the Refine Edge tool to clean up your selections. And happy using Adobe Photoshop.